Welcome back to the second episode of the Common App series to apply for the USA fully funded scholarships. So, in the first episode, I taught you how to create the Common App account, and so in this second part, I'm going to teach you how to fill in your profile and family information so you do not make errors. So, let's start. So for this under profile, you're going to need to input your personal information, your address, contact details, demographics, language, geography, and nationality, and then the common app fee waiver. So do wait for this last part for the common app fee waiver because I'm going to explain it in details because it's what you'll use to avoid paying for the application fees to the university. So you need to fill in all this information accordingly. So let's start with your first name. So do confirm you input the right details, then your last name. So everything has to appear in your official documents, which is like your passport, your ID, your driver's license, your birth certificate in the form of official document. So they say, would you like to share a different first name that people call you? If you do want to select yes. If it's not, it's a no. It does not matter. So do you have any other materials under a formal legal name? If it's a yes, do select yes and you need to answer, fill in the formal name details. But if it's a no, select no. And so you need to confirm your date of birth, make sure it's correct as it appears in your birth certificate or any other form of identification that is official. And so this brings us to your address. Confirm that your permanent address information is correct. If there's an error, you can change it. And then they say, do you want to share also an alternate mailing address? For example, if you attend a boarding school or use a different mailing address. So this part is important because some schools will later do send you like t-shirts or any gift once they have accepted you. So let it be correct information, this section. So if it's not, you can just leave it at through the first address. So select continue. And so this brings us to the contact details. So your preferred home, like the phone, if it's a home or your mobile. So enter it accordingly. You have the alternate phone. If it's not, put nah. But if you have another, you select accordingly. And so this brings us to the next part, that is the demographics. So your demographics, it's like your gender. So are you male, female, non-binary, or any other gender? So select which one applies to you. Then the legal sex, that is what you were assigned at birth. So select that. Then your pronouns, select which one applies to you. Then U.S. Armed Forces status, have the U.S. Armed Forces not in your home country but in the U.S. So fill in the information accordingly. So are you Hispanic or Latino? So select accordingly. So regardless of your answer to the prior question, please indicate how you identify yourself. So first, if you're black, select black. If you're white, Asian, whatsoever, do put that. So which one best describes your black or African background? So me personally, I'm African. So select which one applies to you and press continue. And so this brings us to the languages. So the number of languages you're proficient in, for most of us international students, there are at least two. There is maybe English and your mother tongue. But if you have more, select according to which applies to you. So please, you will need to know English regardless, because if you are going to study in the US, you will need to know English because that's what they teach in, that's what you read in, that's what you study in, and it's the form of communication. So you have to need to know English. So select the language. So you have to fill in the languages. So yeah, that's how you fill in this section. You could choose to use the first one as your mother tongue. So you look for whatever that fits accordingly. And then yeah, it's your first language. Your mother tongue is always your first language. So you're proficient in speaking. Maybe you know how to read it, maybe you know how to write it, and like it's spoken at home. Then the second one has to be like English. So please, you have to have English proficiency. So of course, it's not your first language. It's what you speak, you write, you read, and maybe spoken at home. And so we go to the next section. And the next section is geography and nationality. So you have to input like your birth country or region or territory, and then the city of birth, the number of years you have lived in the United States. For most of us, let's say we're living within Africa or in other countries, and you've never been to the US, it's zero. But if you have, do fill in that accordingly. Then select your citizenship status. So if you have any status like related to the US, so you input. If not, let's say for us, the Africans, so citizen of non-US country. And so you have to come and list the number of countries that you have citizenship with. If it's only your home country, it's going to be only one. But if you have more countries, like you're registered, let's say, in another country, but like by birth or registration or whatsoever. So you input accordingly. So do you currently hold a valid US visa? So if you do, select yes. If not, select no. Do you intend to apply for a new or different USA visa? It's yes, because you need a visa to enter into the US once you get your scholarship and the schooling. And so the visa type for us, the international students, I speak for the Africans. So our visa is gonna be like the F1 visa. It's the one you will enter into the US with the fully funded scholarship. So F1 visa, but if you have the others, so select which one depends on you. Or maybe you're not sure, go and research to find out which one is your category. But for the ones who get into the US with fully funded scholarships, it's gonna be the F1 student visa. And so let's go to the most important part now, which is the common app fee waiver. So this section, the fee waiver is what will help you to escape the crazy application fees for the colleges, since you can apply for a maximum of 20 schools at once here on the common app. And that's what makes the common app so beautiful, because it releases all the stress. Like you see all this information you're filling it in at once. Then you'll just be adding the colleges, and then you add the college requirements depending. But if it was like you're going to college websites, then you have to be repeating this information all over for each colleges that you apply to. So this is the beauty of the common app. And so they say you are eligible for the application fee waivers using CommonApp if you meet one or more of the following criteria. So you are enrolled in or eligible to participate in federal free or reduced price lunch program. You have received or are eligible to receive an SAT or SAT fee waiver. Your annual family income falls within the income eligibility guidelines set by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service. Your family receives public assistance. You are enrolled in a federal, state, or local program that aids students from low income families. For example, GEO, GEO, such as Upward Bound or others. You live in a federally subsidized public housing, a foster home, or are homeless. You are award of the state or an orphan. You have received or are eligible to receive a Pell Grant. You can provide a supporting statement from a school official, college access counselor, financial aid officer, or community leader. So for us, let's say for the Africans, if the rest do not apply to you, so you providing this supportive financial statement from your school official, like your head teacher, whatsoever, can make you qualify for these scholarships from the Common App and the fee waivers. So you will not need to pay the crazy application fees of the colleges that like because they're in the ranges of $60, $70. Others can even be $80. So you can escape this. And remember, you can even get up to a maximum of 20 schools that you can apply to with full fee waivers. So do you meet any at least one? So it's a yes. Colleges have different policies on who can use the common app fee waivers. So check each college requirements to see if they accept the fee waiver. So the colleges you will select later, you do go and confirm that. And so you will put your signature, which is your full name. And so they have this U Thrive, which is a common app partner that connects you with free qualified mentors online. So these mentors can help you to apply to college, navigate the financial aid process, transition into college, get your degree, find a job after graduation. So would you like to connect with one? I find it to be harmless and it's free of charge, so why not? So do select that. And so this brings us to the end of your profile information. And so we are going to go to the next section, which is your family. So we come to the household, so they need your household information. So they say you may be considered an independent student if you have one or more of these statuses. So for most of us in Africa, we depend so much on our parents or guardians or whatsoever. So this section does not really work with us. So I would just ignore it. So do any of these statuses apply to you? So it's a no. But if it does apply to you, come and read through and you select yes. So then they want your parents' marital status, so relative to each other. So if they're married, select which one works and applies to you. So with whom do you make your permanent home? So it could be parent one, parent two, and you choose parent one could be your mother or father, or they could be both, or other if you do not stay with your parents. It's like maybe with relatives like your uncle or your auntie. So select that section. So do you have any children? So if you do have, please select yes. If you don't, no. So they just want to understand the responsibilities and how you spend your time. That's why they need that information. And so this is the second part, the parent information. So parent one, as I said earlier, it's either one, it could be your mother or father. Choose whatsoever you want to make as your parent one. So, but if you do not have that much information about this parent, you can select that. So we go to the next part, which is the parent two. So if parent one was your father, so parent two has to be your mother. If you chose parent one has mother, so parent two has to be father. So again, if you don't have that much information about the second parent, so you select that. Or if you do not have that parent, at least maybe you don't know about their existence, or they died or something of that sort. So select which one applies to you. Then they want the number of siblings that you have, so you have to be specific. If you do not have, you select 0. If you have, you can select as many as 10 siblings. So remember, you have to fill in this information correctly, because later you'll also use it to fill in your CSS profile. And the CSS profile is the document, and it's like a form that you will fill later for the scholarship students, that you can get the fully funded scholarship. So don't worry about it. I will also teach you in this Common App series so how to fill it, and all the information here, your personal information, has to match when you're filling it later your CSS profile as well. So this brings us to the end of this episode 2. So in the next episode, I'm going to teach you how to fill in your education. But then the other episodes will also come with the activities, how to write them in the best correct way, so that you do not miss out or make errors and present yourself in the best way. So if you found this episode helpful, so do click the like button, subscribe, comment, and also share it with other people so they can get to find this amazing information. So thank you for watching my videos, and I'm going to make the episode 3. So continue watching this series. I'm here to help you to apply for these USF fully funded scholarships, and be able to go to school next year or the other year, whatsoever year that you wish to apply to. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.